Hello, everybody. This is Howard, the Teaser King, coming to you with Week 5 of the NFL. Last week I had a really good week. I think I was 9-2, and my losses were like a 5-unit play, like Arizona, and another small play in Kansas City. And, Kansas City was 12-1 as a road dog, or more than that, for a couple of years. It just happens, but that's why it's gambling. It's why it's not 100%. But it worked in the play against Tampa. It worked in the play against the Bears. Worked in the play against Baltimore as Oakland was the dog. So it works probably 80-85% of the time, which is why I'm so successful in the pros. I don't just use the trends. I mean, I'm going to look at injuries, that the team needs it. Is the team off a loss? There's many methods I'm using, but I like to start with looking at the trends. Like last night, the trend was Arizona was 9-1, the favorite, and Arizona was 9-2 in the series. And the last 5 games, you could take a teaser anyway and win. One thing I'm seeing where the last few years Frisco was an under, Frisco, their defense is so bad they're turning into an over team because they're scoring more points and they're allowing more. So where they were with this great defense, they're not anymore. So where they were an under team, they're not. They're actually, to me, an over team. And Arizona got the turnovers, which is what makes the over and the under. Terrible call on Honey Badger in the end zone. So I wonder if the ref bet the over. You wonder about stuff like that, where the penalties, like, where is it? And you don't see it, and then all of a sudden the other team scores, and now the over, the under goes over, and you're like, oh, okay, now I understand it. So believe me, the refs are totally paid off, but the trends still work. They factor that in, and I think in a teaser it helps because they're only looking at the straight line, right? Somebody laying 3, so they make sure they win by more than 3 or lose by more than 3, but in the teaser you got 9, so it kind of covers yourself. So I think the teaser helps against these fixed games like that. Anyway, so Arizona bounces back. Hard to play him yesterday because Drew Stanton's really terrible. Arizona needed the game, but they needed the game against, against the Rams. How do they lose to the Rams and all the turnovers? So, Stanton's an average quarterback. He's not very good. That's the problem in the league. I'm looking at the quarterback stats, and there's a handful of good quarterbacks, and there's a whole bunch of shitty ones. And what I look at is touchdowns to interception ratio, and that's really what separates it. So you got, a couple of them that are really good, Rivers and Breeze and Carr, and of course Brady. But then you got some like Winston's, like more interceptions than touchdowns, and a lot of these quarterbacks really suck, and you take advantage of it, and that's what Teaser King does. Is I play against all these pig quarterbacks, and you just wonder, well, the good ones. Brandon Dougherty's not playing. Bryce Petty's not playing. They don't draft the kid out of Bowling Green, who was a really good quarterback. Dan Lefevre from Central is a really good quarterback, and they don't do anything with him. Just amazing. And then they wonder why they got crap like Ryan Fitzpatrick. Anyway, got a lot of games in the pros. I'll give you 2 good ones, not my locks. I have 2 locks going. In the pros, I have 4 locks that I put up in my college. Very good locks, very strong locks. A couple of very strange lines I'm taking advantage of. A couple of wrong teams' favorite I'm taking advantage of. Some low over-unders I'm taking advantage of. So, I mean, basically I use my own spreads, what the game should be, what I think will happen, and then the line comes out and where I'm, way different. That's where I'm taking advantage because I know how to pick these games, and I know what the spread should be way more than, Vegas just comes out with what makes the betting even. I'm not looking at that. I'm looking at the true value of the game, and that's why I'm very successful getting good dogs and good favorites, teams that should be favored but aren't. So let's take a look. All right, Philadelphia laying 3 to the lowly Lions. The trends are heavily in favor of Philadelphia in this game. A quick look. Um, let's see. Detroit is a home dog. Let's go back to 14. In 2014, Detroit's 3-1 as a bet against home dog. Philly is 4-1 as a road favorite and a play against road favorite. Let's go back one more year to 13. Well, Detroit hasn't been a home dog that much. They're still 3-1 against. Philly is 7-2 as a road favorite. Let's go back one more year. Here, Detroit. We go back all the way to 2012. Detroit is a home dog, play against 7-1, 88%. And Philly's average is a road favorite this far back. But that's okay. It just shows you the last few years Detroit's a lousy home dog. So it's not like they're a good home dog. No, when they're supposed to lose, they lose. Last year, Denver got them, Arizona got them, Minnesota got them, Green Bay got them. When they were supposed to lose at home, they lose. They don't care. They're not a very good team or franchise. They don't care they're not very good. You can out-coach them with a high school coach. Quarterback, all you got to do is put pressure on Stafford and he folds up. Their defense can't stop the wind, and they basically don't have a running game. So you know they're one-dimensional. They get a few good plays, but that's about it. If they're losing to the Bears, I mean, they're just, the Bears ran it down their throat. I'm sure the Eagles will. The Eagles have much superior defense. Quarterbacking, I give the edge to this kid already, Wentz, who I don't know enough about. He doesn't turn it over. Stafford, I don't know what they see in Stafford. He's a loser, basically. He throws he's got a good arm, which I don't know what that means. He doesn't know how to beat the blitz, and he constantly throws interceptions. Wentz for 3 games, I have no idea. All I know is, they beat Pittsburgh, so give them credit there. Anybody that can shut down Pittsburgh the way they looked against Kansas City, give them credit there. On the road, shouldn't matter. Take Philly plus the 3. I like that. And then we're going to go to Houston and Minnesota. Minnesota's laying 6.5, over under of 41. I love this game under. A quick look at the stats. If I can find my stat page. Oh, where's my stat page? Oh, come on. You got to be kidding me. Hold on, everybody. I apologize. I have my stats written down. What did I put them in my college folder? Oh, pardon me, please, as I find my pro stats. Yeah, here it is. Of course, it was in my college folder. All right, let's look at Mini. They're 21. This is an average. 21 offense, only 13 defense per game, points per game. Houston, they're low scoring. 14 offense and 17 defense. They don't score a lot. They got a good defense, although without Watt, it's not as good. Mini, probably the best defense in the league at 13 points a game. Only Seattle at 12 is better. But that's what I like. You got just a good running team. I like the way I had Mini on Monday night. I like the way, Monday night. I like the way how they held the Giants and Eli Manning down. They're certainly going to probably shut out Houston, or at most Houston will get 7. I look for Mini in the 20s, 20-7, 23-7, somewhere in that neighborhood. They'll just totally blanket them. I think this is a very easy underplay. 41, you tease it to 47. You play it with the Eagles. It's just a very good play. I just think it's the way to go there. So that's what I look for when I'm playing an over-under. You got 2 under teams. So I rank each team, are they overs or unders, and I look at the stats on Yahoo. And the difference is in college, when you look at the stats, you got to be careful. I played Akron against Kent last week, and Kent had a very low scoring average. But once you dig into the stats and you see, well, they played Alabama and they played Wisconsin, 2 very tough defenses. They probably got shut out, of course brought their scoring average down. So you're thinking, oh, they really don't have a good offense. But that really wasn't the case. It was who they played. So if you back those off, they're probably close to a 20-point team. Akron, on the other hand, have this great quarterback, Woodson, but he didn't play. He got injured. He hurt his shoulder either in practice or the first couple of plays. He wasn't in the box score. But that was the reason I took Akron, because of that quarterback. So the quarterback doesn't play. Thank God the backup came in. I won the game on the end. I was laying a half a point, and they won 31-27. But in college, the number, the averages can be deceiving, where you think a team is really a high-scoring team, and then you see they played Stony Brook and Hampton and put up 60 points, but as soon as they played a good team, they didn't score. They averaged like 15 or 20, so their offense isn't that good against good opponents. So be careful in college. Now, as we get more into the conference play, we'll see that happening a little bit less, where it'll start evening out, and the disparities between the Kent State and the team that played the high school teams, the better team, that'll start breaking down, and you'll see that better. So it'll be a more true average, but right now be careful. In the pros, it's all pros, so it's pretty much you can take the stats and run with them. And you just see, now the reason I'm doing this is, like I said, San Francisco, which was an under team last year with a good defense, is now a 24 offense and 27 defense. So they're not a 10 or 12 defense and a 15 offense. They're a 24-27. So they're really more of an over team than an under team. I noticed against Carolina they were over. I know here against Arizona. So against the better defenses, they're scoring. I think Gabbert's a terrible quarterback. Why do I say that? Well, he really stunk at Missouri. He stunk at Tampa. The only reason he's doing anything is they're allowing him to run. I mean, anytime you see a quarterback in college or pro, unless it's a wishbone, like Oklahoma used to run, or the Navy and the Army, where they're running wishbone and they're running the veer, and they want a running quarterback. But if it's like Michigan or Notre Dame or any of the big schools, and the quarterback, he should be in the pocket throwing the ball. When the quarterback goes back to pass and within 2 seconds pulls it down and starts running, that's a terrible quarterback, because he's not there to run. It's not a running play. He's going. It's a pass play. He's going back to pass. He's got $1 million receivers running down. He certainly has capable receivers. Why the hell is he running? That tells me he doesn't know how to read coverage. He is scared to throw the ball. He's scared of an interception. He has no confidence. Bad decision maker. And you don't win with the quarterback scrambling around. I mean, Michael Vick never won. Vince Young never won. Any of these running quarterbacks do not do well in the pros. They're not good quarterbacks because they can't sit in the pocket and run. How many times you see Tom Brady run? Very, very rarely. Manning never ran. Eli doesn't run. Rivers very rarely runs. So the better quarterbacks never run. Rodgers scrambles a little bit when he needs it, but generally it's a last resort, and he's kind of running to get a touchdown. But surely Rodgers is a great quarterback, because he throws the ball 99% of the time, unless it's a 4th and 3, and it might be like a planned, he's going back, but he's really going to run type of thing. But that's not what Gabbert's doing. Kaepernick's even worse. If that guy gets on the field, we'll bet heavily against the 49ers. He's too worried about kneeling at the flag instead of playing quarterback. Very disrespectful. That's no class, and hate to see that. So anyway, I liked most of the games. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 plays in the pros, 2 locks, and very strong plays. Should be a very, very strong pros. I think the worst pro week I had was 8-3. People play my locks a little bit too high and ignore the 9-unit or 7-unit plays. Please look at all of them. If you are playing a 5-team parlay or a 10-team teaser or a 10-team parlay or whatever, make sure you have Monday night in that, and make sure you trap it, and make sure you have money if you are going to bet it, and you need money to trap it. Make sure you have money to trap it, because if you don't, you're just giving away. If you hit the first 5 or the first 4 and you need the 5th game, you got to have enough money to bet the other half, or you shouldn't be playing them, because that's a golden opportunity to make a lot of money very easily. Once you hit the first 4 and the 5th one's out there, or the 9th one's out there, or the 7th one's out there, or whatever, and you have the one left, you have to trap it. And then you can't lose. You're going to win half. You're going to win. It's free money. And if you can't do that, then you probably shouldn't do that type of bet, because it's like not playing the odds at the crap table when you play the pass line. And you got $25 on the pass line. If you don't have $100 odds behind, you shouldn't be playing craps, because the pass line, you have no odds. The odds behind the pass line, you're getting whatever, 7-5, 9-5, 3-2, 2-1, whatever point it is. If you don't play the odds, you shouldn't be playing craps. If you don't trap these games when you have 5 or 6 teams in and you need one, you shouldn't be betting them, because your odds on winning them are sunk very low when you don't trap. So I just put out a trap video. You know, it's like playing craps. If I only have $25 left, I don't put it on the pass line. I put 5 on the pass line and 20 odds. I don't put 25 and no odds. That's all I'm saying, is once you've got that game trap bet, you've got to trap it, and then you win half. So that's a golden opportunity. It's just throwing away money, and I hate throwing away money. Anyway, good luck, everybody. www.teaserking.com. Let me just refresh you on the advisor service I offer. That would be like you're going, well, Howard, who do you like in the Detroit-Philly game? And I'll tell you I like Philly. And then I would say, well, you can play it with the Minnesota under. That's what I would tell you. And I would tell you what's your bankroll. And I'd say, play this for 3 or 4 units, or play it for $100, or whatever type of bettor you are. Play it for $1,000. Depending on that, you might say, well, I want to play a 5-team teaser or a 5-team parlay. You know, I'll give you 5 teams or the parlay. Now again, that's $50, and then I'll give you that information. Once in a while, I'll play where, okay, give me 20% of your bet if you win, but that'll be like on a 5-team parlay or 5-team teaser, and you want to give me part of the action, I'll give you the 5 teams. But again, I'm not going to say here's the lock. It's not fair to the people buying the locks and buying the picks. I'm not going to, for the $50 advisor fee, tell you, oh, my lock is Philadelphia, or my lock is New England. I'm not going to tell you that, because it's not fair, and that's not the point of the advisory. Now, if you bought the picks, it's $150 for the pros and the college, you'll see what the lock is. I can tell you how to bet it, or the best way to bet it, or I throw out a lot of picks. A lot of it is just so you can see, here's my opinion on a lot of games. So I'm really just trying to say, here's the games. And if you see a 777, it's 7 units, but your units can be whatever you want them to be. I'm just saying that's the strength of the bet. You'll very rarely see anything under 5 units. So 577 is a 5-unit bet. That's a little bet. 777 is a little more. I have a lock this week at 11 units and a lock at 21 units. So 21 unit lock, I'm saying bet it heavy. So I'm giving you differences in strength. I really like this game. I love this game. This is a 21 unit play. If you normally bet 100, you should be betting 5 on this one. The 1100 one, if you normally bet 100, maybe you bet 2 on that one. But don't get too carried away with the lock, winning or losing. You know, I heard people, oh, you lost with the Arkansas lock. Okay, yeah, I did. But I hit a lot of other games, and I hit the lock in the pros, so if you're just betting consistently, you'd have made a lot of the money on Sunday, where I was very hot, and a lot of the other games I hit right on Saturday. So don't just pick one game. Remember, I pick at least 75% of the plays correct. So therefore, don't let one game beat you. So you've got to just spread it out. And that's what I'm looking for is, you know, yeah, okay, I like this game a little bit more, you know, but I still like these other games, you know. So, you know, I'm not locking Philadelphia, but I still like it. You should still bet it, but I like other games really strong, and those are the ones you should bet more. But I can still win this Philly, Minnesota under teaser, and you'll make money on it. You just make more money on the lock. But again, don't lose track of this play here. That's my point. You've got to understand it. Or let's say you don't like Philly because they're a road favorite, but you like the Minnesota under. Well, play them, and you're in a teaser with somebody else you like. And if you don't know, but you don't like Philly, but you like these other teams, then pay $50 for the advisor, and I'll say, okay, play Minnesota. Who do you like? You'll say, I like this. And I'll say, nah, I don't like them. They're not in a good role. Let's play this team. And let's play that team. And try to get you into a better opportunity to win. And that's kind of what I'm trying to do as the advisor, is to get you away. I had one kid tell me he had Washington State with Idaho over. Now, if he would have paid $50, I don't know what he lost. Let's say he lost $500. I would have, as an advisor, said, play Washington State, lay the points to Idaho, because Idaho can't score. They're an under team here. And Washington State won 56-6. He loses the over. But if he would have played it properly and played Washington State, so for the $50, instead of losing $500, he wins $500. It's a $1,000 turnaround. Was the $50 worth it? Hell yes. Especially from me. I got all the stats. I know teams overs and unders. I got all the statistics that you don't have to do. And I know how to feel it. In other words, sometimes it's an over-under, but you stay away because there could be an injury. Like Notre Dame Syracuse last week, I was going to play that game. I was going to lock that game over, and then something happened. And I don't recall, I think the quarterback was injured on Syracuse, but he played anyway. And so I didn't play the game because of the injury. I said, they probably won't go over. And the game still, it was probably over in the first quarter. I think they scored 35 points. But the point being is I'll know all that information, and I feel if I go over or under. So that's my point. It's a feel thing. It's an art that I have from seeing the games and getting a feel like this team's like Washington, like Western Michigan, Central Michigan. I knew they were both high-scoring teams, and I knew the over was better. I didn't want to play Western Michigan at Central as the favorite. If Central was favored, I would have locked Western Michigan up all day. But I wasn't comfortable laying points at Central, so therefore there was no point in it. The over was a great play because the over was cheap. It was only 50. It was 55 when I saw it. I went over 49. It went all the way up to 60. So I saw it. I knew it was a weak over, and I knew that was the better way to play that game. So people could have played Western. You could have played Central in the 9, but I would have talked you out of that and said the over's a better play. I'll do that. I'll go on these other handicappers sites or in these Facebook groups, and one of them said Oregon, Nebraska, take Nebraska, and I said no, the over is a much better play than taking Nebraska over Oregon. Nebraska didn't cover, and the over was good in the teaser at certain lines. I noticed the finishing line the teaser was good in, so it was the better way to play it. You had two explosive teams playing. So that's what I like to tell you is that $50 is worth it. I can't just, hey, who do you like in this game? I can help you a little bit, but really I'm a business like like an accountant, like an attorney, like an architect, like any other consultant that you would know, a financial consultant. You pay him for the information, so that's all I'm trying to do. But I think my fee of $50, most people are going to be betting hundreds of dollars on the games, and it pays for the game. I'll talk you out of a loser into a winner all day, and I think that's really the point of it, to avoid as many losers as you can. So, for 150, just buy the picks and ask me. Uh, it's probably the best way, because as the advisor, like I said, I'm not going to tell you here's my lock, but I will give you that game. I'll tell you bet it, but I'm not going to say it's my lock, because you're as the advisor, you're not paying for my locks, you're not paying for my picks. So I'll give you picks to play, but you don't know how strong and that, and I can't, so that's where it gets into I can help you with your picks, I can recommend picks for you. I can recommend how to bet, and I can recommend units. Maybe play your Saturday afternoon games for part of your bankroll, and then play the Saturday night games for some more, and then come back Sunday. I can tell you how to bet, how much to bet. I can give you some games, but I can't just say, oh, here, you paid me $50, here's my lock. Because my locks sell for 1.25, or you get the whole package for $150. So, it's not unreasonable, my picks, because I'm such a professional at this and doing it for a long time, and my record's so strong that, I'm not a $30 handicapper. You want those, you're going to lose a lot of money, so I don't want to do that. Anyway, good luck. Have a nice day. www.teaserking.com. A lot of strong pro picks, a lot of strong college picks. I have some good information. One team's using a freshman quarterback. A lot of good overs and unders, and a lot of good picks this week. So you saw what I did last week. I was, I think, 12-2 in college and 9-2 in the pros. So it was like 21-4, or 22-4, 22-5, something like that. It was a really hot week, and 5 out of the 6 locks won. So I was 5-1 in my locks. So I can see everything now, and it should be very strong weeks from here on in. So good luck, everybody, and I hope you make a lot of money. Take care. Have a nice weekend. Good luck.